The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
And you're listening to TrashTalkingRadio.com every Tuesday from 7 to 10. Tough guy. Oh! The Trash Talking Radio Show. You want some? Come get some. You don't like me? Bite me. Hey, they're talking about it gets so hot, the telephone line melt. The telephone man climbing the line now, trying to put it back together because it's so hot. Because the people know they're talking to the real deal, the real man, the man of the hour. They're talking to the fabulous blonde. Been around the world more times than Carter's got Tina. I've been in countries that don't even have names. I've been places that not even on the map. Only closed out. Because everywhere I went, everybody wanted to see. Everybody wanted to feel. Everybody wanted to touch. Recording.
Ovo je Nikolaj Vukov I ja vam kažem da gledate da slušate radio show svaki tjedan od 7 do 10 uveče. Sve najviše vas pozdravljam I sve vam želim najljepše. Doviđenja.
This is Ivan Koloff, the Russian Bear. I would advise everybody to listen to Trash Talking Radio, Tuesday 7 to 10. It's the best around. If you want to know and love wrestling, you will listen to Trash Talking Radio, Tuesday 7 to 10. Freshman. Woo, missed it.
We've been together since way back when. This year's gonna be a winner again. We are still the one we're not sent through. Still the one that's gonna see you through. You're still having fun and we're still the one.
And you're not on Facebook.
And oh, wait, talk.
And you're not on Facebook.
Oh, what do you mean?
It won't. It's not coming up saying you're live.
Why didn't it work? Okay. Well, that's weird. I thought it said. Oh, let's push it again. Got to push the button again.
Push that button. You said no more. You said I couldn't push buttons, and I wasn't.
It didn't work. Okay, let me push it. All right, what's going on here? There. Wait, stop streaming. Okay, no, don't stop streaming. All right, Trash Talking Radio Tuesday night. It's the best night of the week.
There it is.
That's weird. That is really weird. All right, so you missed the whole intro. That's why it's there. I don't know why it's not working, though. That means that it might be this and not that. Well, I don't know. Because it didn't even see... It did see it. Okay, regardless. All right, I guess I need to figure this out sometime. You know, everything worked for the past couple weeks, so I got spoiled. And now I'm, like, trying to figure out why it wasn't working. So let's check to make sure what is working and what isn't working. Well, we're sitting at the beach, supposedly. Yeah, we're sitting... We got a stand right there at the beach. She's selling seashells. She's selling...
Seashells. See,
you can't say it either.
Can't do it when I'm smiling.
She's selling seashells.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
She is selling seashells at the seashore. Okay. I don't know who you think is selling them, but... All right. So anyway, we're on... Looks like we're on there. We're on that Facebook thing. Now let's check the other one. Make sure that we're where we're supposed to be here on Twitter, and do a check to see if Twitter is indeed where it's supposed to be. Why isn't Twitter? Oh, there's Twitter. Okay, good. Let's pin that at the top where it belongs. Ooh, look, it's Trash Talking Radio. I thought I changed that. I was sure I changed that. Darn. Well, it's still Trash Talking F. Trash Talking F.
Beepin'.
F.
Bleeping.
That's close to real. I got to change that. I did change that once. And then there's okay, we're live at Twitch, and it looks like we're live at YouTube. So if you're watching YouTube, Twitch, or Periscope and Twitter, you got to see the intro. You're not really missing anything, but the intro was missing in those, and we're live on the mix. So that's good to know that we're live somewhere. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it sounds like something weird happened here, and I guess I need to figure it out, because for some reason, now I'm looking here at, so I'm going to oh, it's not on there. It would be on that one over there. I did fix that once. I wonder why it's still coming up wrong. Anyway, people don't care about that. What they do care about is we are on the air.
Yay!
As soon as I get my cursor back. Okay. So everything else is working, I hope. We'll find out soon enough when I try to make them work. I still don't know why this button doesn't work. It's really screwed up, because everything, it gives me triangles, and I've never had to give me triangles.
Those are warning triangles.
Yeah.
I gotta remember to bring my cup back up.
All right. What am I doing? Oh, okay. I guess we'll start with the RIPs. None of us made any points for the 4 RIPs we got. Or 5. Might be 5. Oh, there was one more. I missed that. I put it in. I thought I did. Maybe I didn't put it in. The 5th one was... yeah, I guess I didn't put the 5th one in, because they weren't really a star in my eyes. Actually, the 3rd one wasn't really a star in my eyes, but other people might have thought I was wrong.
Well, it depends on which one you're talking about.
Okay, let's talk about them. Rather than just around them, let's talk about them. The first one was Hugh Downs, a huge name. I didn't believe he was 99 years old. He almost made it to that big 100. I mean, if I make it to 99, I want to make it to 100.
Oh, yeah.
If I make it in my 90s, I want to make it to 100. You might as well make it to that big 100.
Of course.
But if if I'm at 85, I'm not really looking at 100. Because chances are, at 85, I'm going to be pretty beat up. I'm already beat up pretty bad.
Yeah,
so
right.
I really don't think I'm going to see that 85, so I doubt that I'm going to meet 99. But, hey, if you make the 99, that's a pretty big number. That's, of course, I didn't anticipate making it where I'm at now, so, hi, Brian, how you doing? But you never know. You never know when you're going to be at that big number. So, anyway, Hugh Downs, I hadn't heard his name in a long time either, and for probably good reason. I mean, think about this. These guys, these news people, they stay working until they're 80.
Well, of course.
Well, that gives you 10 years of not working. I started early so that I can enjoy what years I have left. I mean, I can't imagine like all the years that these guys put into their craft, and to wait until you retire. I mean, that's some pretty big stuff to retire. I mean, I don't know when he retired, but to think that he's now 99. I wonder if it says. Let's see. It says Hugh Downs died July 1st at his home. I actually missed it. You told me earlier, and I just didn't do it. I forgot all about it, and I ran across my notes. Downs is best known as co-host of the Barbara Walters ABC Magazine 2020 up till 99. Oh, okay. So if he retired at 99, and he died at 99, that meant he had a good 21 years of non-working. So that's a pretty good thing there. That would be respectable. So that meant that he worked till 99. He would have been, well, how old he was 99 when he died.
Yeah.
So take 20 off of his 21 off of his 99. So he worked till
68.
68. Yeah, that's not
78,
bad. That's a good.
like
That's a good life. So he worked pretty good. That's It says at one point Downs held the record for most hours, 10,000 in front of a television camera.
Oh, wow.
That number was surpassed by
Walter Cronkite.
Regis Philbin.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Well, now that you said it, I do remember hearing it somewhere.
Yeah, I would have never even thought that. That's wild to think about. But it's let's see here. It says Downs described his time on 2020 as the pinnacle of everything I'd done, and interviewed a host of notable figures on the program over the years, including the Dalai Lama, Stephen Hawking, Patty Duke, and the Reverend Billy Graham, and Barry Goldwater. Of all those people, I would have loved to interview Patty Duke. You know why? Because I had such a crush on her when I was a kid. I had a crush on her and her cousin. So.
Is there anybody you didn't have a crush on?
Well, as a little kid, I mean, you figure that was put out before I was born. But I watched the reruns. But I liked that show. I liked the idea of that show. It was just kind of funny. But anyway, goodbye to Hugh Downs. I'm sure, he left a legacy of sorts. The second one I'm going to put as last. We also... Do you watch Glee? Did you watch Glee?
I've seen it a couple times.
Do you know who Naya Rivera is?
No, I haven't seen it recently.
Okay. Well, she rose to fame on the TV show Glee. She died at 33. This was a controversy at first until they found her body. They just found her body yesterday. It was floating in a lake. And they really don't have any controversy now that they found her. So, there was controversy because nobody knew where she was. But it says, Naya Rivera, a singer and actor who played a gay cheerleader on the hit TV musical comedy Glee, was found dead Monday in the Southern California lake. She was 33. She was discovered 5 days after she disappeared in Lake Peru, where her son, Josie, was found July 8th alone in a boat the two had rented. So I wonder how old her son is, because that's the thing. The controversy was that she was found in the lake. How did she get there? How'd she get in the lake? They rented this boat, and why don't they know? How old is the kid that the kid can't tell him what happened? That's the weird part, is that they didn't. I don't think they really said. Let's see if they said. Secondary character, full coverage. Let's see here. Looking to see if it says. I wonder. I bet you we could find out through looking. Let's check. I could have done the work earlier if I'd had time.
Do you know why? Oh no, that was an aunt. I was going to say, do you know why that?
Why what?
You wanted to know how old her son was.
Yes.
That's what I was looking. At first I thought it was 4, but that's...
Well, that would explain why he couldn't say...
Well, that was her nephew.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't say.
Wait. Oh, no, it was 2. Okay. Did you look in the Wikipedia?
Well, that's what I was trying to look for.
There is one right here. Let me look to see. Because I'm curious as to how old her son was, because her son had to be really young if they didn't have the answer, Let's see. Let's talk about...
Oh, it said he was only 4.
Yeah.
But now on that one page I was looking at, that said he was her nephew.
Well, what they're saying is, I'm guessing...
And he did say that he told investigators he and his mom went swimming, but she never returned.
Yeah, and they said on the police report yesterday that I watched that she put him in the boat before she died.
Wow.
And he had a vest on. She did not. So...
And it might have been one of those, she might have got caught like in a riptide or something.
Well, I don't know. That was a lake, so there's no riptides in the lake, but it could have been... who knows? Who knows? She could have got a cramp. She could have, I mean, any number of things could have happened. The autopsy will probably tell him something. But, yeah, it's really, it's sad. That poor kid is not going to have any mother. So.
And to think that he watched it.
Here it is. Disappearance and death. On July 8th, she was declared a missing person after her 4-year-old son Josie was found alone in Rivera's rented boat in Lake Peru. The search for both Rivera and Josie had begun at 4 p.m. 3 hours after they left the dock. When the rental was over, another boater discovered Josie alone, asleep in the boat with his life jacket on around 5 p.m. The boat was in the Narrows, an area north of the lake that can be quite deep and windy. An adult life jacket was found on board along with Rivera's identification. Josie told investigators that they were swimming. His mother helped him climb back in the boat, but she was unable to climb back in herself, and then she disappeared. That's got to be really messed up.
And to think that, I mean, he may or may not remember this when he's older, but if he does, you know, I hope he doesn't blame himself.
He also stated that his mother was not wearing a life jacket. And here you go. Lake Peru is known for strong, unpredictable currents and whirlpools that have caused deaths of swimmers in the past. Rivera's vehicle, black Mercedes G-Wagon, was found. Let's see what a G-Wagon looks like. Okay, was found in the parking lot. So, yeah, it probably was a bad idea for her to go swimming with just him and no other adults. So
But it could have been something that she's done before. She never thought, unless you got caught.
You don't know. And now it sucks because, you know, that son's going to have to grow up without a mom.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really sad. It says on July 10th, the sheriff's office released closed-circuit TV footage of Rivera and her son arriving in the parking lot and leaving for the dock on the boat. And the number of divers involved was cut from 100 to around 40. Sheriff's Department explained visibility was poor and probable Rivera would be found by using sonar devices as well as dive teams and sniffer dogs. What they did was they found her because she eventually floated to the top.
Right.
And, yeah, here it is. On July 13th, it was announced that a body had been floating in the lake by divers. When the search resumed in the morning and around 9:30 a.m., it was confirmed to be Rivera's. She was declared dead. That's sad.
Yes, definitely.
That just was a bad idea to go swimming with a toddler or with a young child like that and not another adult. That's unbelievable. But it's sad. I mean, you know.
It might have been something that, you know, she thought she'd done this before. She might have been a strong swimmer, and it's just,
yeah, it doesn't
you
matter.
don't know. Nobody's going to know.
It doesn't matter it doesn't matter if you're a strong swimmer, because if you go down, it's like that.
And that's why you tease me about only going into my waist. That's because that's what I don't want to have
That's
happen.
why I tease you, because I can't go out if you don't go out.
You could.
No, that's because then I'm doing what she did. Dumb. All right, another one that surprised me, but I understand that it really wasn't a surprise because it was ongoing. Kelly Preston, that's John Travolta's wife, died Sunday with a 2-year battle of breast cancer. Oh, John Travolta, you have a problem with women with breast cancer. You know why?
Why?
His previous wife, Diana Hyland, died of breast cancer.
Wow. Hi, puppy.
Yeah, it kind of sucks because not only did he lose one, he lost 2 to breast cancer. So that's a sad situation for Mr. Travolta. I feel for him because to lose 2 wives is bad. To lose 2 wives by breast cancer, that's really bizarre.
That's true. Wait a minute. Now you were so good. Now you're going to start.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's sad that she was a Kelly Preston was pretty cool. I liked some of her movies that she was in. Here now. Put that up here and talk about that. Says the couple was married in 91 in Paris after meeting on a film set. They had 3 children together. And they experienced tragedy in 2009. I remember when this happened, when their son Jet died of a seizure in the Bahamas. She was a pretty woman. That's really sad. I mean, not that ugly women shouldn't die, you know.
But she was still, I mean, she was young, too.
Yeah, 57. She was in Jerry Maguire. She was in Twins, and starring with her husband in Battlefield Earth and Gotti. So, what is your problem over there?
He was quiet till the show goes on the air. Maybe he thinks he's part of it.
He has his opinions. They can be muffled by treats. So, anyway, that's sad about her. And the saddest one, well, I don't know which one's the saddest one because there are a couple of sad ones.
He's given his opinions. Oh, puppy.
You have a rawhide over there. I could go get that and give that to you. It's sitting over there. Over there. Look over there. What?
He's giving you that stare.
I'm ignoring him. So anyway, the last one is the worst one of them all. This guy was 49, it says.
Yeah.
Grant Imahara. Now, I loved Mythbusters. I watched every Mythbusters show there was. And I watched the the White Rabbit Project. And I watched the Star Wars stuff that he was involved in. What is your problem? Be quiet. I really enjoyed all the shows that I saw him on. He was a pretty cool guy. He was really he was
a genius for science.
He was an engineer. All right, now how do I get back there? There we go. He worked for Lucasfilms, and he worked for Industrial Light and Magic, and he was just, I loved the fact that he could make all those things and make them work. I mean, I wish I had that kind of knowledge. So.
Well, I think I read, too, that at one time he was a judge on BattleBots.
Oh.
I thought I read that somewhere.
I really don't know about that. That's possible. It doesn't...
I read it somewhere. It might not have been that article.
Read this. Hold on. It says he worked on Lucasfilm 93, Industrial Light and Magic, Star Wars prequels, The Lost World, Jurassic Park, Galaxy Quest, Matrix sequels, Van Helsing, and Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. He worked the majority of the sequels. What is your problem? You're just noisy. It says here, his major work on the prequels include involving updating the R2-D2 droids, and he made an appearance on the mockumentary R2-D2 Beneath the Dome. He transitioned to reality television when he joined Mythbusters to replace Scotty Chapman. I don't even know who Scotty Chapman is.
I don't know.
I have to go back in the vault and figure it out. After Mythbusters, he appeared on Tabletop and worked as a judge on the BattleBots in 2018. Had a cameo appearance on Sharknado, Oh Hell No, in 2015, and he played Sulu in the Star Trek fan series Star Trek Continues.
Oh, wow.
Before his death, he worked as a consultant for Disney Research and Mechanical, designer at Spectral Motion. In March, he built a custom animatronic Baby Yoda based on Star Wars The Mandalorian, and the video went quickly viral. Baby Yoda is universally cute, hands down. In a few public outings we had, everyone melts. I saw the thing he did on with the I saw it on his Twitter. It was cool. It was pretty cool to see. Actually, I'll see if I can bring it up here. Let's see. Go to here and talk about. Where's it at? Where did I see? Saw his. Okay.
I think I saw a picture of Brimstone with him as well.
Yeah, Brimstone did have something to say about it too. Where are we at?
It's just sad. I mean, to be taken that young.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll do it this way. Screw it. I'll do it this way. Paste it there. Oh, I missed. I had it there. There it is. There. Well, there's. That's not what I wanted though. Where do you see it?
Wait, there was a Baby Yoda up there.
No. There's what I want. This one here. All right. He was really into the space launches,
Oh, wow.
SpaceX and stuff. He always had these. Like here he says SpaceX. Oh wait, here's him live from. It says me and Baby Yoda, but here's the Baby Yoda.
Aww.
It's kind of cool. So yeah, it's just it's kind of cool, but it's sad to think that's March 20th. Some of these were like, here's the May 30th.
Wow.
You know, May 27th. If he had only known, he only had a couple days left. So really sad. I kind of think he was taken way before his time. And I really thought he was a genius with some of the stuff. Actually, this I have for later on. We're going to talk about this too.
Would you want to know the day you know that you're supposed to die?
I don't know. Sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that. Because I thought about that, and I'm like, well, if I knew, then I could make sure I got everything done that I wanted to get done. But yet, I wouldn't want to know, because then I'd worry if I didn't get everything done.
Well, if you don't get everything done, who cares? Someone else can do it. Let's see. We got Chris Gorish, who is the Hulk Hogan imitation from Doc Diamonds.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember him? Yeah. Also, Fran, how you doing? What does he say? He says, Benjamin Koenig, the son of... Yeah, oh, that's the other one I missed. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm going to talk about him, but I didn't think they deserved the RIP section. I'm going to talk about him. So, okay, make sure I will talk about Lisa Marie Presley later on. So, all right, so that's that, and so that gets rid of all the RIPs. Awarded for points? None. What's wrong with us?
Yeah, I know. We're not doing so hot this year, but that's a good thing.
It is. It's good. It's good. I'm glad that we aren't winning. And we're tied. I'm glad that.
Yes.
Because then nobody has to say they're better than somebody else. Except
Although that's killing you.
all right. Guardians of the Galaxy has a Groot theory. Do you know what the Groot theory is?
I am Groot.
Do you know what the Groot theory is, then?
No.
Okay. Well, there is a Groot theory.
Okay.
Okay, so James Gunn said, this is part of the Groot theory. Filmmaker James Gunn responded to an adorable fan theory on social media centered around Groot, and it was posted. A fan forwarded Gunn a GIF of The little sentimental tree sat on the Guardian's spaceship eating multicolored sweets out of a pot.
Oh, jeez.
They wrote next to it, "My 7-year-old has concluded that the pot baby Groot is eating candy out of right there is the same one that he was growing in. Are they right?" Retweeting the inquiry, Gunn went to confirm. "I like that theory, so let's say yes." And you can tell your 7-year-old she's inventing it. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. This kid will go far. In the comments section, 2 fans in particular were impressed by this fun revelation, as they wrote, "Glad they were repurposing stuff in space instead of just jettisoning it out. This is a new level of wholesome, I need it today." So, this is what he's talking about. Let's see. So
Oh, wow.
that's the pot he was grown in, according to that 7-year-old.
Hey, that 7-year-old's a genius.
I think it's funny. But, yeah. And it says here last month, the director revealed that the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy movie will probably be the last one featuring the current team of heroes. Are we about ready to bid goodbye to Star-Lord, Gamora, Groot, and Drax the Destroyer, Rocket Raccoon, Nebula, and Mantis? I wonder if that's what is going. I wonder if they're going to die.
I hope not.
Well, he said that's the last movie.
Bummers.
I hope that's not the case, but that might be the case. We might not see them again. So that would be sad if they get killed. I hope they're featured at least in other movies and stuff. If they can't be in their own movies. But if they make money, if they offer him enough money, they're going to do another one.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the way it is. So, the Groot theory, that's all we got to know. Alright, so let me take this. Since they don't have a button to push, I'm going to go the old-fashioned way and put it in my hand.
Yeah, I'm not going to say a word.
What?
I like to push buttons.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something about my hands.
I'm being good tonight, for once.
Let's see, get rid of this. There we go. Now we can put the stuff in. Alright. Paste it and let it go. Alright. Alright, that's that. Guardians of the Galaxy stuff. I really am looking forward to that movie. But every time you put those kind of sequels together, generally the sequel is not nearly as good as the first bunch. So, you got to worry about that when you're talking about writing something like that, because Superman 1 is not nearly, or number 2 is not nearly as good as 1, and so on. But the Guardians of the Galaxy have been good, both of them. They were both really good. So, all right, next. This is controversial. Do you know who Great White is? The band?
No.
Do you remember when Great White... Well, apparently not, because you don't remember the band. Do you remember a story that there was a Rhode Island fire and a band was playing, and it happened to be Great White, and a lot of people died?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, 17 years ago, that's what happened. However, now they did a concert with no COVID-19 precautions, and so they're doing a controversy again. I would have thought that, if anything, they would do anything to avoid controversy because of the hassle they got into last time.
But if you think about it, look at all these protests that are going on, and people are not abiding by the guidelines, and so they probably say, well, we could just treat this like another protest.
I don't know. I just don't know. It says in February 2003, the hard rock band Great White was involved in one of the biggest and most infamous concert tragedies in music history. When pyrotechnics were set off on their tour, it ignited flammable acoustic foam in the walls and ceiling of a Rhode Island nightclub. It was a small nightclub, too, resulting into a blaze that killed 100 people, including Great White guitarist Ty Longley, and injured 230 others. The band's tour manager Daniel Michael Bichel later pleaded guilty to 100 counts of involuntary manslaughter and was given a 15-year sentence, though he only spent 2 years in prison. The two club owners also received suspended sentences. Now, Great White is catching flack for seemingly irresistibly once again after a current lineup played a show in North Dakota this week with zero social distancing. And it says here, Great White wants to be remembered for more than concert disasters. I can understand that. So it's just sad. Look at all those people. They're like right up on top of each other. But you know, you can't blame... Okay, so I think you can't blame the band for this whole thing, because people are not stupid. People have been around. They know what COVID can do. If you attend a concert like that, you're just as guilty as the band.
Yeah, because if you think about it, all the other bands that have had concerts scheduled have canceled them.
Yeah, the smart ones.
You know, and it's like, I don't know. I just...
I mean, I want to play out as much as anybody else, but I'm not going to risk my life.
Right.
That's just nuts. I think what needs to happen is one of the band members need to catch COVID-19, because, after all, one of the band members died in the concert of Rhode Island.
I just think, if, depending on where this was, the venue and who owns it or runs it or whatever, I mean, it's going to happen that the only way we're going to get through this is if they shut everything completely down.
Yes. Well, I mean, the thing is, there's always going to be those a-holes out there.
Yes.
That are going to break whatever the rules are. And that's the sad part, because there's so many people that just refuse to do what we need to have done. So we have, even if we have a 90% rate of people that are doing the right thing, that 10% will screw the rest of it up. You look at all the states that are floundering now because of, Florida.
Yeah.
All these people that are having COVID parties to show that it's okay, and they're all getting sick. That shows that it's not okay.
Yeah, I know it's hard. We're like they keep saying, we're all in this together. And
If we're all in this together, everybody needs to play the same game. And that's the thing. Everybody's not playing the same game.
Nope.
And so people are getting sick because they're idiots. Oh, I already put that in. Because I already did that. I just think it's sad because this band, all other bands have canceled. They've all done the right thing. And this band has not. So,
I mean, I had this discussion, what was it, the other night. I had an hour-long discussion with my daughter on this, and
and she's one of the ones that is complaining all the time. And we got to stop complaining, and we just got to do what we got to do.
That's true.
What?
Survivor's not going to be on this fall. Bummers.
Are you surprised?
No.
I mean, really, all those reality TV shows can't be distanced that well. I would imagine that would be making it difficult.
Maybe they'll run an earlier season.
All right, now here's the one that Chris was talking about.
Yes.
Lisa Marie Presley's son confirms death by gunshot.
Ugh.
It's sad. You know my friend Rich Butler.
Yes.
His dad went into the basement and covered himself with a sheet and shot himself. He had a I think 10 or 12-year-old son. Yes, Rich has a 10 or 12-year-old son. Rich is being at like 50-ish. or a brother, I mean. Actually, at that point, Rich was probably, I'm going to say, he was probably in his 40s.
Ugh.
And they found, and the son, I believe, found him. But what a horrible thing. I mean, for someone to find you in that, it's bad enough you're going to kill yourself, but it's even worse when someone has to find you. And man, it breaks my heart. Lisa, you can give me a call anytime. I will console you. I love Lisa Marie. I just would. I loved her dad too. Oh, her dad was one of the people that inspired me to be a musician, because I just loved that his showmanship and
then maybe your mother would say that she loves you.
Oh yeah, yeah, that could happen someday. Anyway, it's really sad. This was an update with 7/14. What's today? Today. A rep for the L.A. County Medical Examiner's Office tells TMZ that Benjamin put a shotgun in his mouth, and the manner of death is classified as suicide. The autopsy was completed Monday. At 4 p.m., Lisa's manager, Roger Widnowski, tells TMZ she's completely heartbroken. I would be too. I know what it's like when someone dies in your house that I was close to, and I can't imagine it being a child. I just can't. I can't imagine. And it says here, it says she's completely heartbroken, inconsolable, and beyond devastated, but trying to stay strong for her 11-year-old twins and her oldest daughter, Riley.
Wow.
She adored that boy. He was the love of her life. So that just is a sad thing. Look, he's how old was he? He was
23, 24?
Jeez.
27.
I've had bouts of depression in my life.
But if
but
there's always help out there.
But when you're in that state of mind, you don't want that help. You just can't.
You don't think it's worth it.
You can't find a way out, and it's sad. It's really sad. Which actually brings me to my next thing. It's not on my agenda.
Oh, okay. Is this that thing that you were telling me about upstairs?
Actually, I can talk about that too.
Okay.
Which one do you want to hear about?
Whichever the first.
A or B?
A.
The first one. Okay, you want A? That's what I was going to talk about at the first time before you brought up B. Okay.
Yeah. Whatever. Go with A.
Do you want me to talk about A or B?
Go with A.
A is not the thing that I was talking about earlier. B is the thing that I talked about earlier.
Then start with A first.
Okay. All right. All right. So, this weekend, first off, okay, back up. Last week I was, first off, now I got to back up even further. Okay. In February, I auditioned for a show called, what in the world's that? There's a weed that grew inside the house. It's wrapped right around the top of the window.
I see it. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Jeez!
For a second, I thought it was an animal, so I didn't want to see another giant spider or something.
Nope. I've been watching.
I got rid of a little one the other day. He was probably the son of the other one I got rid of. Anyway, all right, so earlier this year, I'm just going to say earlier this year because I don't really remember when it was.
It was in February.
There was a show that is going to be on the air called Rags to Riches. And I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm saying I came from the bottom of the barrel. I mean, I came from the worst of, not the worst, but a pretty bad situation when I was born. I had made my way through lots of stuff to get where I am today. Now, today, I have a comfortable house. I have a new car. I've got something I never had before. There's nothing I have to have to make my life complete.
Okay.
Because I've really got, other than cleaning my house, there's really nothing that I need in desperation.
Okay.
Whereas before, I lived in a van, all this fun stuff of bringing up. And so my life is kind of interesting if you know anything about it and where I came from and where I am today. And I wrote them and said, it's not that I'm, what are you doing?
You're hooked on my...
Well, stop it. Get it out of the way.
It's hooked on your chair.
Well, it's not my fault. If you wouldn't have done that, is it?
It's under the wheel. There.
No. Anyway, you know about my story.
Yes.
And you have a general idea, and you could attest that what I'm saying is true. That I've had a hard life. I've had a pretty hard life. I haven't had the hardest life in the world. Haven't had the easiest life in the world. Definitely not the easiest. But this is my story, and they said they wanted me to do it.
Yes.
So we filmed the majority of it this weekend, and I got to edit it. I'm going to work on that a lot this weekend, and they're definitely interested in doing it. So, if I make this thing good enough, it's going to be on it's going to be on that program. So, it'll be fun to see how it comes out. I really expect it to be. It's not going to be as good as I want it to be, but it'll be presentable. So, because the noise level was really, really bad, and there was an earthquake, and pictures were on the side, and there was all kinds of weird stuff.
Blame it on the tripod.
Oh, I'm blaming it on you. Tripods can be adjusted.
The ground was unlevel.
That's why you have 3 legs, and that's why you adjust each leg.
No, I don't. I only have 2.
Well, apparently you have 1, apparently.
Yeah, my one leg is shorter than the other.
Anyway, so the bottom line is I'll keep people up posted on that, and I'll probably release the video before it comes on TV. Maybe. So we'll see what happens. Okay, the second one.
Okay.
So a couple weeks, I think, let's see, I gotta look to see how long ago this all happened.
February, if it's what I think you're thinking.
Well, no, you don't know what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? What are you thinking I'm thinking?
Next weekend?
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, I could talk about that too. Yeah, all kinds of things. Yeah, let's talk about that first. So, this past weekend I auditioned for a part. Oh yeah, I got next that too. Oh geez, I've been so busy.
Yeah, you got to tell me these things so I can help keep getting you where you need to be.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so last Saturday, Friday.
Yeah, last Friday, this Saturday.
I auditioned for a new TV show, or a pilot for a TV show, and I guess we're gonna see how that. Well, they said I'm definitely part of it, so we'll see how that works. But I don't know what part I have. But I auditioned. It was fun. They gave me the best thing they could have ever given me. They gave me a thing to audition it that was about regrets and about losing your wife and all that stuff. And that was
nailed that one.
I did. I actually almost cried while I did that because it was. I went deep into the darkest depths of what was going on in my life, and it came out pretty good. So that was fun, and
getting there was another story.
Well, the ride there was really scary because
yes.
It. All right, here we go. Okay, there it is. All right, good. So that was fun. It was really fun because we were driving in the rain, and I was hydroplaning. First time I ever hydroplaned in that car. And it was just really, really bad. It was.
Or every time you come up beside an 18-wheeler and the water would just be like, oh, I can't see.
I forgot to bring the submarine.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe
was
that
fun.
update hasn't come out yet.
That was fun though. And anyway, so I did the audition for that. Then I also gave them the monologue that I did for the Independence Day scene, and they liked it. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'd like to see something happen with that, but they said that I have a role. I don't know what the role is.
Now, did you confirm if you had to go back this Saturday?
I don't have to. If I
Okay.
want to, I could.
Okay.
So I
'Cause I
might
know you were
not
gonna
because
check
I
on
need
that.
to. I need to edit the thing for my other thing, so I may end up not going because they didn't really need me. I wanted to go to network, but I don't think it's necessary, and I'll confirm with them that that's necessary or not. Then, all right. I guess I don't need Lisa Marie up there. Okay. Then on July 25th, we shoot the episode, or partial shoot the episode of the show that I got in February or March, whenever it was. And so that's cool. We're going to be finally shooting that. It's called, well, the episode, I don't know if the episode's called Agency or if the show is called Agency. I was calling it Mike's Sides. I was calling it all kinds of different things.
Right.
I don't know what it really is called, but it'll be interesting to see that because, I mean, most of my lines, I don't have a lot of lines.
No, you don't.
And I don't have a lot of scenes. I actually have 2 or 3 scenes for the whole thing. So that's not too, considering the fact that I was told this was the lead. This is not the lead of this particular
Well, when you
thing.
think about it and what the show is based on, you are a very important character.
Well,
It's centered around you.
well, that's what it seems like, yes. And the scene actually is, the last scene is actually pretty funny. Where he ggets in the accident, he's writing on a napkin. I thought that was pretty funny. So I actually looking forward to it. We'll see if it turns out the way I hope it will. But
Because I remember that's the one you asked me for help on because you weren't sure of some of the mannerisms.
well, yeah, and I got to review that.
And I told you that because it related to my dad, that type of thing, that I could give you what you were looking for.
Well, I'm going to have to review that again, and we'll see. Well, I mean, I'm excited about that. Then the last one
Okay.
that you don't know anything about.
This is B, right? Or is this
This
E?
is B.
Okay.
I skipped it over. There's a new thing I'm working with that you don't know about. I'm checking to see. Okay, let's see if they have a website. Let's try. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna try his email as a website. 14. Wait a minute, is that his?
Do you need my glasses?
No. 17.media. Oh. And also, our webpage will be back up and running soon.
Cool.
I got things, I think, back. Come on. Let's see if this is a real website. I'm just going off his email. No. 17.media. So, 17.media. Oh, okay. Well, I don't even know that's... Okay, let's see what happens when I hit that. Well, okay. All right. There's a new thing that I'm going to be interviewing for Monday
Oh.
for the Trash Talking Radio Show.
Okay.
This new thing is called Libet. Now, I wonder if I can... Let's see if we can look up...
What does that do?
Well, I'm going to tell you in a second. Let's see if we have anything that we can look at.
Is that another stream?
It is.
Oh, wow.
Libet. Here it is. Wow. Okay, so this is Libet. Okay? we may be part of this. And what they do is they take our stream and they extend it into their platform, which will be available on all phone platforms, which means you will be able to watch Trash Talking Radio on your phone.
Well, we can do that if you're on
but
Facebook.
This is through a different platform. This may give us all new listeners.
Cool.
So,
like, if you don't like to do Facebook on your phone...
There you go. I know there are certain people that don't like Facebook. A lot of people are moving away from Facebook. And a lot of people are moving away... This is the new media. This is the new Instagram or the new TikTok or whatever.
Okay.
They all have their own little thing. This is the new one. We're talking to them...
Twitch.
Actually, a lot like this could be the next Twitch. So I'm talking to them on Monday at 3 o'clock, and I'll be talking to them. I've already given them links to the show. Why do you want to become interested in a live streamer? I said I'm already doing it. And then, of course, they wanted stream links, links of social media, which I gave them, and all that stuff. But they said they're interested. Thank you for reaching out, and after reviewing your materials, I would like to set up a phone interview for sometime next week. So I'm going to be talking to them like Monday. So
cool.
This may not turn into anything, or it may turn into something big. We need exposure in different areas, and that would be one that we can look at. And actually, I'd like to give you a task to do if you have time. I want you to explore what it takes to become on iTunes.
Okay.
What it takes to be on Spotify.
Okay.
And what it takes to be on any other platform that we can send them this file of what we're doing, because that's where we're missing out. Because like Brimstone is in all those places,
right? Okay.
And we need to be in all those places. We do the stream, we do the work. Why don't we get listeners and viewers from other areas?
Okay.
Because we're missing out on we're missing a lot out. We need to find a place like Libet or some place like that to promote the show, because Facebook doesn't promote us, Twitter doesn't promote us. We promote ourselves. Twitch doesn't really promote us, and so I really think we're missing out on streaming for those places. So, I mean, that's really what I think is really missing. The missing ingredient is that we're not on those places. So I'd like to be on those places.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, I figured if you could just get me, if you find the requirements, that's cool. If you don't find the requirements, if you find what we got to do to be there, then we got to look to see if it's something we want to do.
Okay.
But I think I should have been on iTunes and Spotify and what's the other one?
Deezer.
Well, not Deezer, but Deezer. I'd take Deezer too. Spotify, iTunes. I guess
Twitch.
Amazon doesn't do it, but we need to look at those. I mean, Amazon might do it, but we need to look at what we need to do is look at where Brimstone is, and that's where we want to be. Basically, that's where we got to be, because he's doing it regularly, and we should too. We should be everywhere they are. So, anyway, that's my announcement for the show, in hopes that we can grow our audience and turn it into something that it isn't now. I mean, they're looking like, the things that they're doing, they're not as the things they're doing are not as serious as what we're doing. These we would be a real show on this, and most of those are just like TikTok and like Instagram or whatever. So it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say.
Well, I got an instant message while you were talking there
From?
some longtime listeners of the show.
Okay.
Who are actually going to be celebrating their 14-year wedding anniversary tomorrow.
Oh. Okay. They sent it to you and not me?
Of course.
Oh. Well.
But I sent you a picture from there and asked you if you remembered that.
No. Don't remember.
But yeah, Jeremy and Jennifer Dunham celebrating 14 years tomorrow.
It's a long time.
Uh-huh.
Huh. Wow. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, because that's the one where you gave away the bride
Well,
instead of selling her.
Yeah, I was going to say I couldn't get much for her. She was used. Shouldn't say that. I don't even know if she listens to the show anymore. So,
Oh, I'm sure she does.
Netflix says use it or lose it.
Ooh,
Now, what does that mean?
sounds personal.
It's actually interesting because some places, one of the reasons I stopped paying for Netflix was that I had 2 accounts with them and I didn't realize it. When I first started my account, I started a B15 at Comcast account,
Right.
and I had a Mike Trash at Comcast account. And I was paying for both of those because I was stupid. I didn't realize I had 2 accounts. And I paid for them for like 2 years, both of them. And I didn't notice it because it was coming out of my credit card. So now I don't pay for any of them. But this would have stopped that from happening. It says Netflix is planning to purge its service of subscribers whose accounts are no longer actively being used. So, for instance, let's say, you started a Netflix account a year ago and you stopped watching 9 months ago.
Okay.
Then you say, well, you're not even thinking about it because it's coming out your credit card. You don't know. You probably didn't even notice it. Well, they're purging those, saying if you haven't used it in a year, they're going to, you have to resubscribe or it's going to wipe out that account. So that means if you accidentally forgot that you were doing it, they're saving you money. I'm really surprised that they're doing this. It's very uncommon. It's an uncommon move by a subscriber-based service that Netflix announced Thursday that it will begin canceling the accounts of users who have not used or watched anything on their platform for a year since they joined, as well as anyone who hasn't used the service in 2 years. The company said that it will begin sending those subscribers emails and an in-app notification this week so that they have a chance to keep it active. So, in other words, if you don't really use it and you forgot that you were even having it, you're not going to be charged for it. It's actually, they're doing you a favor. I think that's great. If they had done that when I was subscribing to do 2 different things, I would have been happy. So, yeah, it's something to think about. But anyway, that's the story with that. That's a good deal. Disney gets mixed reactions as they reopen. So this was the situation. Everybody was wanting the big park to open up, and everybody couldn't wait till it happened, and everybody came running to the place because they wanted to be going to Disney. What's the worst thing that could happen? Well, it says here, as Disney reopened their premier theme park, Walt Disney World in Florida, of all places, amid exploding coronavirus, social media immediately took the entertainment conglomerate to task by criticizing their decision to resume theme park's operation, calling it premature and risky. Florida has now seen more than 250,000 cases of confirmed coronavirus cases. 250,000 total cases of confirmed coronavirus cases, and has tallied more than 300 deaths in 3 days, with 11,000 new cases reported on the park reopening day. So they got a lot of flack from people because they feel that they opened it too soon. Did they? They probably did. But, companies, it's sad because what do you do? If you're a company, do you realize how many millions of dollars a day they lose by not being open?
Look at Hershey.
Yeah.
I mean, Hershey, you have to have a reservation because they're watching how many people come in that park. And for what they charge for season tickets, there's a lot of people that ask for refunds.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I don't know. I just, I don't know how I feel about this because, especially in Florida, where all the cases have have exploded.
Well, Danny Bain went back to Florida, right?
No.
She did.
Oh, how would I know that? She doesn't talk to me.
Oh, I thought you followed her on Facebook.
I just, I talked to her when she said she was coming up.
And she said, she'll come back for visits, but she had some things to take care of down there.
Well, yeah, she's got 2 kids.
Yeah.
So, but it's really, really, you gotta, so much, it's so much to think about. And, says, I love Disney World so much, but man, it should not be open right now, says this one person.
I mean, think about it. With all the beaches and, like in Florida and Delaware and Texas and wherever else, I mean, you get all these people that, could be carriers and don't know it.
Absolutely.
Yes,
or maybe carriers now.
Yeah, the numbers are going to rise.
Yep.
I mean, I have thought about this ever since the 4th of July. I thought, even though I'm not feeling any symptoms, maybe for my own peace of mind, maybe I should go get tested.
Why?
I don't know.
We were pretty safe where we were.
We were, yes.
We were far enough away from people.
Yes.
And everybody was spread out in that beach. I was, it was very, very good.
Yeah.
And the food, we were very out
careful.
From there.
Yep.
Everything was done right. So I thought it was a perfect weekend because, we weren't close to anybody. So as far as I'm concerned, that was not an issue. In fact,
you have these people that say, but you went to the beach. And
so?
Exactly. I mean, this wasn't one of the ones that said there's a lot of cases.
Yeah, but the thing is, the biggest problem... What in the world is that?
What? That's a new one.
Yeah, what is that? No, I'm curious. But, we're thinking about... The problem is that they are not taking care of social distancing, and they're not wearing masks. Now, at the beach, nobody was wearing masks, but everybody was far enough away that you were okay. Even in the water, they were far enough away. There was nobody near us.
Very true.
So, as far as that goes, it was done perfectly. There was nobody came up on us and breathed on us, and we didn't breathe on anybody else. Everyone kept their distance. So, as far as I'm concerned, that was okay. But people were having to stand in line, and they're going to have to stand in line with other people to go on rides. That's a little different.
Yeah, I could see that.
So, I don't know. I might be wrong, but I think that the situation is that this situation for a park makes a big difference. And if it's a swimming pool, it's a big difference because you're right on top of people. On a beach, you're not really right on top of people. So, but the thing is, the people are not discreet about what they're doing, and you just gotta be smart about it. And I don't know the right answer for this Disney thing, because again, to stay alive, business has got to be in business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I was concerned about restaurants losing business by having only takeout or not at all or no business for several months, because businesses got to survive or people are going to be out of work. If I was still working, I would have probably been laid off because I was paid a decent amount, and they would have to cut corners wherever they could. So it's a double-edged sword.
Did you see this? A friend of mine put this up. It says the official mascot of 2020, and it's a raccoon. Always wears a mask, compulsively washes hands. Letters of the word raccoon rearranged spell corona.
All right. Okay.
You never thought about that. I know I didn't until I saw this, and I was like, well, yeah, I guess she is right.
All right. All right, moving on. Then, here's another thing that I just don't really care about because it doesn't affect me, but Washington NFL team says it will retire the Redskins name and logo. It doesn't affect me, so I have no real opinion on it. But I guess it's okay, because I guess the Indian people or the Native American people have complained about it. So, I mean, if somehow feel that that's not a good thing, I would think that they would like that name, because the Redskins weren't a bad team. So I guess that the connotation of the Redskins, I don't know. I don't understand totally why they don't.
Because it goes along with that.
I guess that's their N word.
Well, that, and it also goes with the R word, the racist.
Oh, okay.
You know, when they're saying like Black Lives Matter and all this
Couldn't
kind of
they
goes.
have just changed their logo to be a potato, the Redskin potato? Wouldn't that have been the easiest,
You're an
cheapest
idiot.
way? Because nobody would have been upset about that.
Yeah, but they're not potatoes.
They could have been.
If they are, they'd have been from Idaho.
All right, let's look. Oh yeah, I guess. Okay.
Okay, that doesn't work.
Okay, that would. All right, that I guess. Oh, actually, he's going to talk about the significance. Let's listen. Let's listen to it and see what they say.
Given to a franchise that is obviously disrespectful at the least to racial
Okay.
toward Native Americans is at long last being changed. The fact that the Washington franchise and Dan Snyder
I wonder if I can turn that up. Let me see.
pointed to an unscientific poll in the Washington Post several years ago, which would not pass muster in any scientific journal. It was not peer-reviewed. It was part of a different kind of poll, was not scientifically conducted, and said 90% of Native Americans aren't and some of the academics in Michigan and Berkeley actually having
Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, I guess I could see that. Not being a football fan, I would have never even dreamt of it. Never thought that would have been an issue. But I guess I can see his point. I see his point. Wait, let's see what this one says. The announcement. They don't know what the new name is, right?
No,
oh, it says announcement of the new name. I think they should name it the Trashmen and have a picture of me as the logo. No? You don't think so? You're just jealous because I didn't say it would be Trash is Made and have a picture of you.
No, believe me, I don't want it as me.
Or maybe as Trash is Made's handyman.
Hey, I'm not complaining.
Shouldn't.
But I know somebody who's jealous.
I am jealous. So, you saw the Scooby-Doo movie.
Yes.
What did you think of the movie?
I thought it was cute. I liked it.
What did you think of Velma? What kind of woman do you think she is?
Smart and intelligent, like she always has been.
And what do you think about her orientation?
Smart. Oh, yeah.
That's not an orientation.
I know.
Did you think that anything was going on there?
No.
Okay. So you think she is bi or gay or straight?
she's what most people would call a nerd.
You know what? I don't even care. I don't even care if she's gay. But according to James Gunn, said that they wouldn't allow her to be gay. They wouldn't allow him to make Velma gay. Really? What the?
I think what it's coming down to, as much as this, in today's society, transgenders want to be accepted, there are some people that are still very old school and they don't believe in that kind of thing. So they don't want to do this to a child's movie. And
well, I mean, I've always said that as far as that goes, I don't really think that kids really care whether Velma is gay or straight. The adults care. And that's the thing that's sad. Because, first off, I don't think that since she's not having sex in the movie, she's not doing anything in the movie, it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue if she's straight or gay. In fact, it shouldn't even come up in my eyes.
right.
But as we see in Riverdale, there's a lot of girl kissing, and there's also guy things going on there. They're making it evident that that's okay. They're breaking boundaries, and it's real evident in that show because Reggie is gay. Mm-hmm. Although he actually, I believe he was transgender later on in the show, but boy, that movie or that TV show is breaking boundaries.
And
like
I think what it's coming
but
down
you know
to,
that audience that is going to watch that is probably, I'm saying, teens on up. And if you're younger than that, you won't even understand it. I mean, the kids of today are so much more forgiving of this stuff, or accepting, I should say. Of
well,
this
that's
stuff.
because, and this is going to sound awful, but it sounds like they're forcing us to accept it in today's
you can
society.
watch, you don't have to watch it.
But I'm saying, like, for somebody that, like me, that has been sheltered from that, okay, if I wanted to watch Scooby-Doo, I want to watch Scooby-Doo.
Sure. But why can't Velma kiss, what's the girl?
Daphne?
Daphne, yeah.
Then it'd be like, ew, what's that? And then that would open up.
But girl-to-girl kissing, for the most part, is accepted in society.
Mother to daughter.
No, kiss. If you went up to your girlfriend and kissed her on the cheek, that's not unacceptable. It's really more acceptable for girls to kiss girls than guys to kiss guys in this society. If they wanted to make the guy, what's his name? The not Shaggy, the other guy.
Fred.
If they wanted to make him gay, he sure is gay looking when he wears the Asgard thing, you know. But I mean, I don't care. I don't see. The thing is, when I watch Scooby-Doo, I'm not thinking about the sex of any of those people.
I'm not
either. I could
either.
care less. If Velma was a transgender, so what? She's still smart. You know, I just wish that with kids' movies, we wouldn't care what anybody's... Because I don't want to see them have sex in a kid's movie. If it's an adult movie,
with you.
that's different. But I think that the fact that they wouldn't let... Oh, look, there's Danny. Danny just showed
Hi,
up.
Danny Mae. Love
Just
you,
showed up.
girl.
But the idea that Warner Brothers, because they want to cater towards family, wouldn't let her be gay, that disturbs me a little bit. It disturbs me because of the creative aspect of the show. Because James Gunn is known for his creative aspects. He shouldn't have been the director then. They should have had a director from Disney or
It's
something.
just like everything else. You have Section A that feels one way. You have Section B, these people feel another way. You have Section C that feels this way. And all these opinions are different. It's just whoever is screaming the loudest.
I'm wondering, okay, see, long before James Gunn became one of the, he got his start writing scripts for Warner Brothers, okay. The live-action Scooby-Doo movies, 2002, was directed by Raja Goshnell. and did 257. Okay, the film was followed by 2004 Scooby-Doo Monsters Unleashed, which reunited Gunn and... Okay, so we're talking about early 2000s too. We're not talking about today. So it may have been different if it was done today. Gunn revealed on Twitter that his plan was to start the movie to make Velma explicitly gay in the Scooby-Doo movies, but Warner Brothers did not allow it and slowly phased out any story points that pertain to Velma's homosexuality.
And that's where what I was saying, the old school,
Maybe
they want to say this because, like, you and I grew up with this.
Right.
And that's when being gay and all this was kind of kept under the rug. They want to keep it that way.
But I really think that in a lot of ways, the way, like I said, Fred dresses like he could be gay, but I don't really care. I don't care if he's gay or not, because I'm not watching the movie for him anyway. I'm watching it for Scooby, and I'm watching it for Shaggy, because those are my two favorite people, aside from
Scooby.
No, her. Not Velma, the other one.
Daphne?
Daphne. I love Daphne.
Well, then why can't you remember her name?
Because I don't remember anybody's name. I barely remember your name. Listen, Lisa, if it were up to me...
I've been called Rose, I've been called Jennifer, I've been called Tracy. Sure, why not? Just add another one.
I said Lisa because Lisa Marie was on earlier, and I like Lisa Marie. So, and we had our own Lisa Marie.
Yes, we did.
I wish I had her now, because she added a different spin on things, and she would really add a spin on this. Because I could hear her. She would go off on this. But I just think that it's silly.
They're trying to keep the innocence that when you hear Scooby-Doo, you think childlike innocence. They're trying to keep that.
I don't. I think Scooby-Doo is cool. I don't think childhood anything. I think that if I had a dog like that, I wouldn't have a dog like this.
Buddy, he wants to replace you with Scooby-Doo.
Don't get him started. Don't get started. That's all we need.
That's my puppy.
Oh, good. Take him home with you. Anyway, yeah, I just thought that was interesting that he was not allowed to make Velma gay. So, all right, that's the end of entertainment stuff. Now, where are we? Okay, we got a lot of time left. Good. Got a lot of stuff left, too.
And Jeff says hi, too.
Jeff who?
According to Danny. It's her guy.
Oh. Hi, Jeff. I didn't know it, Jeff.
You do now.
All right, anyway. All right, let's see.
Oh, and she's even sharing, she's hosting a watch party with us. Ooh.
How do you know that?
Right there.
How come I don't know that?
Because I'm better than you.
Well, I should know that. Well, that's weird. Why don't I know?
Because I'm better than you.
Well, that's great. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, all right, anyway, where are we at? Okay. There was an explosion on a naval ship in San Diego.
Oh, no.
21 people injured after an explosion on and a fire on a naval ship in San Diego. My dad was Navy.
Yeah.
You just found that out.
Yes, I did.
So, it says 21 people were injured after an explosion and fire on board a ship in the U.S. naval base in San Diego. 17 sailors and 4 civilians are being treated for non-threatening injuries at a local hospital. The sailors on board the USS Bonham Richard had minor injuries from the fire and were taken to the hospital. So, yeah, kind of weird. That's a strange one. Do I have her on here? I don't. Well, I didn't know because I didn't care who she was. I just happened to see another person that died that we don't care about because she's a YouTuber. Not that I don't care because she's a YouTuber, but I don't care because she's a YouTuber. I mean, she's not a person that we would know who she is. But what was important was that Nicole Thea was 24, and she died along with her unborn child. So that was the story, and I don't know who she is, but I would imagine she had a lot more followers than we do. Ah, yes. The truth comes out. It's jealousy in my mind. So, I just wonder if I died, if anybody would announce it on their shows. I don't think so.
I know I couldn't do it.
Why couldn't you?
I couldn't run this without you.
Yeah, you could just push start and stop.
You said that doesn't work.
It doesn't work right now. For some reason.
I still couldn't run this
I
without
don't know
you.
why it doesn't work. It should work. I'm going to reboot the whole system then. I don't know why it doesn't work. It should have worked. Because all the buttons are labeled right, and it's just not interfacing with the vMix. I don't know if it's an update that vMix did that stopped it from working, but I don't think I updated vMix. Oh, there's an update available. I got to do the update. I got one of the last updates that is lifetime.
Wow.
I saw that the other day when I saw that certain people were paying for their upgrades, and I thought, well, I wonder if I have to pay for upgrades. And then I saw lifetime. I thought, well, that's good. By the way, remember when I got in the argument with Tesla about where I was getting my
Serious?
Wi-Fi?
Oh, yeah?
I said it says that I have lifetime Wi-Fi, and they said, well, that was only for so many months. I said,
Right.
well, lifetime is not only for so many months. I still am getting it, and I'm not paying for it.
Wow.
So I think I won that battle. So I gave up, and I thought I was going to have to pay, but
you might be grandfathered in.
I somehow did. I got grandfathered in, and I'm happy about that because I won a battle. That's a bit of haven't won too many battles lately. Yeah, speaking of which, so I'm on pain meds. I might as well get this out of the way.
Okay.
I've been on pain meds for more than 10 years, and I went to a new pain med doctor because I had switched insurances and my insurance didn't cover. And I got in an argument with the new guy the first day, figures, and I was explaining that I needed my pain meds, and he was explaining you don't need your pain meds, and I'm going to take you off all pain meds.
I remember you.
I'm down to one a day.
Yes.
So, actually I'm down to less than one a day because I've been weaning myself off quicker than he weaned me off. And anyway, it appears that I'm not going to be seeing him anymore because I guess I must have really pissed him off at some point because as he gives me my last 2 weeks, he says, and after that, you're free. And he said,
Did you throw chicken wings at him?
He said, if you want anything else, just let me know. So I think he's writing me off. And I said, well, what about my pain? We haven't talked about how we're going to deal with my pain now that I'm going to be off pain meds. He was saying medical marijuana. I said, well, I tried that and it didn't work for me. And he's like, well, you could go get a second opinion. So I guess he's no longer my doctor after 2 weeks. And
wow.
Actually, after today, because I got my last pain meds from him. So I guess as far as that goes with him, I'm done. So
wow,
it's sad, but hey, whatever. I'll figure it out somehow. I don't know. It's sad. It's really sad, but I guess I must have pissed him off. So, speaking of pissing people off, the other day we got in an argument that was pretty big, you and I, on the air, and you were really pissed off at me. Do you remember Black Lives Matter?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to tell you one thing.
That I
very
was right.
important. No.
Well,
This young white mother was killed by Black Lives Matter mob for allegedly saying all lives matter. Keep your mouth shut unless you want to die. That, to me, actually, that's sad. To me, it's sad that she died because she just said all lives matter. I don't know what to think about that. I'm in shock that actually happened. I mean, you would think that they would be a non-violent group of people. Now, keep in mind, this is one group of people, not the whole Black Lives Matter group. But that's kind of scary when you think about it. A 24-year-old mother was killed by Black Lives Matter mob in Indianapolis last week, allegedly for saying all lives matter. Unlike Charlottesville, any violence from the right This killing was reported so quietly that it barely even noticed. Jessica Dottie Whitaker was shot and killed following an altercation with a group of Black Lives Matter supporters who were upset that she and her fiancé had said all lives matter last Saturday. I am I'm appalled.
All lives do matter.
But the thing is, I understand that there is I understand this what they're trying to say. For so many years, and including the years that I grew up, and including now, you can get arrested for driving while black. You will not get arrested for driving while white. You just won't be. And when was the last time we've seen a white person get kicked and beat up on the street by police? We haven't. We have not seen that. We have not. I understand her saying this. I understand what her, by saying this, meant no harm. And I understand when you said it, it meant no harm. I understand that they are trying to say, you're not listening. I understand that. I don't understand killing someone over this. And that's the thing that I'm really upset. It says here, it was squashed when they went up the hill and left, we thought, but they were sitting on St. Clair waiting for us to come up under the bridge. That's when she got shot. Her grandfather posted on Facebook, multiple black assailants shot her in the head. Now, the thing about this is that this makes black people look bad. Mm-hmm. Because, hey, there are good people, there are bad people. There are always bad people along with good people. I like to think there's more good people in this world than bad people. The problem is that the good people don't get showcased enough, and the bad people get showcased all the time. So it only takes one bad. It's like COVID. It only takes one bad person to make everybody look bad. However, I understand, but it's such a shame to see this mother lose her life and this son lose her mother over this. This is so stupid that she got shot. I'm just shocked. Why isn't everybody outraged? He said in this post. Is it that Black Lives Matter was involved, or was it white young adults that were the victims? Whitaker leaves behind a 3-year-old son. 3-year-old son. Her father said that police said that the Black Lives Matter supporters had walked by her and her fiancé and said Black Lives Matter, to which Jessica responded, all lives matter. The Black Lives Matter activists had allegedly pulled out weapons during the argument, which prompted Ramirez to do the same. This led to them backing off, but not for long. What the? I mean, I can't even picture that. See, this is where I get passive. If I got into a situation where they said Black Lives Matter, and I would have been stupid enough to say all lives matter, and they pulled a gun, I'd say, you're right. That's where I get passive and say, you are 100% right. I apologize, because my life matters a whole lot more than that statement. So, but then you get into these situations where everybody wants to be right, and everybody is going to fight over this stuff. Mm-hmm. And instead of everybody just recognizing that it is harder to be a black American than a white American. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It.
What?
I hate you.
That wasn't you!
Uh-huh.
No, that's my ex-husband.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I noticed that you left it up so I could see it.
No.
Uh-huh.
That is not there. I would have pointed it out if it was meant for you.
You just did by showing it to me.
You moron.
Tomorrow is National Grumpy Old Fat Balding White Guy Day. And she expects recognition.
No, not me. My ex-husband.
Uh-huh. Anyway.
See, he even says, I expect to be recognized.
Uh-huh. Anyway, I'm just really upset about this person dying over
It's
this.
like this. Everybody, you said it earlier today. Everybody should get along with everybody.
Yes.
Nobody is better than anybody
Yes.
else.
Well, some of us are.
You know,
Some of us are better.
I mean,
I consider myself better than most people. But I know what you mean.
you're a dork.
So, I'm allowed to be.
At least I have a
Fat white.
handyman.
At least I'm a fat white American, and I get my own day. So,
That's not why that was there.
you like the Assateague, don't you?
I love Assateague.
What do you like about Assateague?
The horses.
Do you like riding horses?
The horses don't like me.
Man charged in riding wild Assateague horse by National Park Service. I feared for my life last time I went there because a big horse stuck his head in my window. I will tell you, there's no way in the world I would get close enough to ride one because they told us at the center that those horses will bite you.
Yes, that is true.
Anybody that is stupid enough to ride the horse deserves to get eaten by a horse. So, officials from Assateague Island National Seashore confirmed Sunday that one man had been charged for allegedly riding one of the national park's
I'm
protected
surprised
horses.
he was able to get on the horse.
So am I. I am really shocked. The identity of the male was not released. It says here, nor the specific charge. But they did confirm the charges have been filed. Well, that's crazy, though. I wouldn't... I love the horses. They look just awesome and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it just is kind of funny when I think about... the video of looks like I got something on my head. Looks like I've been tattooed right in the forehead.
It all depends on the way you sit, because you just leaned back and it wasn't there.
I wonder if I could change the lighting.
No, because see, now it's turned white. Oh, it all depends on which way you're...
Well, maybe this is it. I just got to sit forward. Okay, let's get rid of that. That's crazy.
See, it's not that... Well, yeah.
I got to change the lighting in the studio. I got to sit time. I got to have time to do this stuff. I don't have time to do everything I want to do. I don't have a handyman at my disposal that works for free.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it great?
I still think he wants you.
No.
All right, do you remember a couple years ago, the iPhone started, slowing down? You probably didn't have your iPhone then, but you didn't notice. But for those of us that had an iPhone at that point, we were getting kind of mad because Apple slowed down the older iPhones so you'd upgrade. Well, they got in trouble and they got fined and all that other stuff. They got fined $500 million. And that $500 million is going to pay for people in the lawsuit. If you have an iPhone 6 or 6 Plus or 6S or an SE that ran iOS 2.1 or later before December 21st, 2017, they'll pay you up to $25 per device. And I have 2 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to remember to do this too. But anyway, it's important that if you have that, you go ahead and do it, because you got to get your money while you can, because it's not too often that Apple will pay you money.
I mean, I have a bunch of old phones at home, but they're not iPhones.
Well, they don't care if they're not iPhones.
I know.
Then we say, let's see here. Oh, yeah, this is kind of cool. Paris, Dateline Paris. They transformed their river scene into a local cinema, floating cinema for social distancing fun.
I think now I would do that.
That would be a lot of fun. Yes. I would do the drive-in theater, too, if I, felt like it. Problem is, they're not playing any new movies.
No, that's true.
So I would do that before I would do a theater, a walk-in theater. So that's kind of interesting to me that they did that. I kind of like that. So That's a very cool thing. So the thing on Twitter that I said I'm going to play later, I'll play now. This is kind of cool. An anti-earthquake bed. This is pretty interesting. This is a bed you would sleep in, and if you had an earthquake, you would be able to survive it. One of the main reasons of death is damage from the buildings. So if you're in this bed here, it looks like a regular bed. However, if you have an anti-earthquake bed, what happens is when it has an earthquake, let's see, bought you fly, okay, yeah. And this is drive-through supermarket. I didn't know about drive-in supermarkets. I'd like that. Anyway, they have this bed here, and what happens is, when there's an earthquake, boom.
Wow.
It just closes you up like you have a steel, and it has supplies under the bed.
Claustrophobic, I'd be in trouble.
Hey, do you want to be dead?
That's true.
I would take that. I would love that bed if I was in an earthquake area. But all the building just breaks around you. Now, the thing that I would fear about is that if the roof falls down on you, even though the building is not going to crush you, how does the people know that you're there?
They would just have to check it anyway. That might be one of those things.
That one's cool too. That one's cool because it just...
Yeah.
They have these different designs.
I'd be scared though, because like if it's opened up and I'm laying it at the top, then all at once it sinks. I'd be like, like one of those rides.
Well, it could be that, or you could have the roof on, yeah. The thing is, it better bring in my cell phone too, so I can call for help.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think that's really cool. It's got non-flammable material with a heat-resistant layer, comfortable temperature, can be equipped with a radio beacon. Well, that would be kind of the way to do it. And covered with identifying marks that say SOS or whatever help.
There you go.
Bed comes in many different colors, shapes, and sizes. I just think it's really cool looking. It'd be hard to have sex in that bed, though. And it's only $3,000.
Only.
Well, how much is your life worth? Is your life worth $3,000? If you're stuck in there for days, that'd be really... Like, okay, so that would be good if Twin Towers...
Well, you have all the supplies you need underneath.
Think about the Twin Towers.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd survive that because there was fire. But maybe, if there's an air filtration system. I really think it'd be interesting. But if you don't survive, you can't...
My bed suddenly went... Shoop, I'd be a little scared.
But if you didn't survive, how you get your money back?
Yeah, that's true.
I just thought that was interesting.
Your family'd have to sue, saying they said this would save her and it didn't.
I thought it was really cool. You know, I really thought it was neat. Copy the address and tweet this. That was something I saw on Gary's thing. And we'll put this here. Yeah, I think it would be really kind of... You have a chance of saving your life. So, you never know.
That's true.
When that kind of thing happens, it's kind of... If you were alive, it did its job. If you're dead, okay, you're not going to get your money back, but yeah, at least tried. You tried to stay alive. This one was from last week that I didn't get to do. So in Atlanta, let me borrow your bike. Atlanta police officer takes a passing man's bicycle to chase fleeing murder suspect.
Oh, jeez.
How would you like to be like you're riding your bike in the park and just coming along out of nowhere, this guy is grabbing your bike to chase down a criminal? Oh, you never know if you're going to get your bike back, though.
Well, if you've watched an episode of Law and Order, Olivia, she commandeered a cab and said, follow that car, police business, so why not?
It's funny. It says here, prior to Atlanta, were able to, police, not prior. Police in Atlanta were able to apprehend murder suspect thanks to a passerby's bicycle. And the police department said in a statement that a suspect had been seen around the Old Fourth Ward, and one cop commandeered a bicycle to chase the man down. The police said that the cyclist had assisted with 21-year-old Nicholas Fonseca's arrest, who was wanted in connection with a June 28th shooting. So there you go. The police commandeered on bike. Jeez. Hey, who says the police don't do their job?
Ooh.
Let's see here. Oh, yeah, I guess I ought to do the other things too.
Here's an article that there was a New Jersey driver crashed a car after passing out from wearing an N95 mask.
Why do you wear it in his car? You don't need to wear it in your car.
Well, they said that he lost consciousness while behind the wheel from lack of oxygen and breathing in excessive carbon dioxide thanks to the mask.
Oh, wimp. Oh yeah, here we talked about this a couple months ago. The woman who called cops on the black man who was bird watching, and she said that she said that she said he was threatening her. Yeah. Okay. It says the white woman who called the cops on the black man who was bird watching in Central Park will be prosecuted. The guy said something about wanting her to put her dog on the leash or something like that, and she said she was going to report him for threatening her. She faces charges for falsely reporting an incident in the 3rd degree. Hey, I don't care if this woman is out there saying, that talk about being racist. That's a racist thing right there. Just because he said that she should have her dog on a leash because that's what the law says, for her to try to get him arrested, that's just not right. So yeah, here it is. Cooper was walking her dog in the park when she encountered Christian Cooper. Oh, that isn't that odd. Her name was Cooper and his name was Cooper, no relation, in a wooded area known as the Ramble. A dispute began because her dog was not on a leash, contrary to the Ramble's rules. Christian Cooper posted on a Facebook part of the exchange that he recorded, and it went viral. In the recording, he's silent for the most part, and she's frantically telling police he's threatening her and her dog. I'm taking a picture and calling the cops, she said on the video. I'm going to tell them there's an African American threatening my life. See, you don't see that happening with a white guy. She wouldn't have done that. See, there are racist people in this world, and unfortunately, they make us non-racist people look bad. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm glad she got her just desserts, because there's just no room for that. There's just no room to cause problems like that. So I went and deleted that without posting it. I want to post that. So I'm thankful that it went in the right direction and not in the direction she was going to make it. So
Lucky Charms hot chocolate? Cool.
No, hot.
Yeah,
hot
okay.
Chocolate. Hot chocolate, not cool. Yeah. But anyway, let's see. I'll put this in here, and we're off to the next one. We're off to the next one. Thank you. All right. This is a weird one. Okay, so this guy got in trouble when he was like 17, 18. I think he was 18. He was the getaway driver for... No, this was in the 70s or 80s, okay? He was a getaway driver for a crime. After you do your time, that's it, right? You should be okay?
Right.
Well, here's the deal. The guy that he was driving for shot the guy that they were going to rob. So, this poor guy, he was only the driver. He spent 23 years behind bars, and a dispute over his decades-old plea deal could send him back for another 15. Now this guy, okay, so you say, oh, well, maybe he was a bad guy. Nope, wasn't a bad guy. I mean, he did bad things. He did, here it is, it says here, by the time Richard Midkiff walked out of prison, he was 42. He had spent more than half his life behind bars for a crime he committed when he was 19. Okay. I believe that for a non-violent crime, that's a lot of time. Okay? Because he didn't do anything violent. Midkiff has restarted his life. He's a full-time paralegal in Ocala, Florida, the president of the Board of National Organization providing legal help for incarcerated people. He begins his busy work days at 5 a.m., and last month he proposed to his fiancée on the beach. Midkiff may not have his freedom much longer because of a legal dispute over the wording of his 1997 plea agreement for his role in the murder. And despite the fact that he has not committed any new offenses, Florida court on July 2nd ordered him to report back to prison for 15 more years of prison. He was given 15 days to challenge the decision. Now, before you say anything, there's something else. In the ruling, the 5th District Court of Appeals noted that Midkiff was a legal adult at the time of his crime. Okay? He was, did I say 18? 19. He was 19. Okay. Not a juvenile deserving lenient treatment. At the same time, the court acknowledged in a footnote that Midkiff apparently appeared to have completed his prison time in a remarkably favored way and a model of rehabilitation. Okay, so there's a positive, there's a negative. His former warden agrees and said that Midkiff is the embodiment of how we would all ideally want the justice system to transform people into a productive, loving citizen. So the warden actually agrees.
Okay.
Who ran Marion Correctional Institute when Midkiff was serving much of his sentence there. A warrant could be issued to take Midkiff back into custody as early as this week, although he's seeking a stay while he pursues an appeal. While the clock is ticking, he's scrambling to get his fiance's engagement ring resized and pay his elderly mother's bills. He worries he may not see them again as a free man. So, this guy who has been rehabilitated, there's more stuff. Along with grappling the possibility of going back to the place where I was told where I can eat, where I can shower, how I can interact with my family, he knows a new danger awaits him. I haven't gotten around to contemplating how I'm heading into a COVID-19 breeding ground. The transformation. In 1996, when Midkiff was 19, he and a 17-year-old, so the guy was almost the same age, however, one was treated as an adult, one was treated as a child. The 17-year-old was the one that shot the guy, and the 19-year-old was the car guy. Okay. Robbed a man in an Orlando area where they thought they would have drugs. Midkiff sat in a getaway car while his friend J. Patrick Sweat went inside with a gun. This doesn't take away either of our guilt, which I'm trying to reckon with ever since. But nowhere in the realm of possibility did he think that he would shoot the person. Both Midkiff and Sweat were charged with first-degree murder under the legal document of felony murder. Anyone involved in a crime that turns into a homicide can be charged with the killing, even if they didn't pull the trigger. Midkiff agreed to a guilty to second degree and spent 38 years in prison. 38 years in prison. 38 years. That's a long time. Mm-hmm. The victim's family, according to court records, wanted the shooter to get a longer sentence than Midkiff. So the judge gave Sweat 38 and a half years, so that he was in longer than. However, neither the victim's family nor Sweat, who was also released from prison, could be reached for comment. In prison, Midkiff by all accounts, transformed himself. He started a program called Storytime Dads. This is a thing where incarcerated dads make videos of themselves reading children's books so that their children would get to read along with them. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
He also was the creator of a program, creator and program coordinator of a prison school called SAGE, which provides dozens of classes on topics including public speaking, interviewing, financial literacy, real estate, creative writing, and philosophy. I even started going to him for help. I'd ask him, "Can you build a program for me to meet this need? Or can you work with these inmates?" said Sutherland, the former warden. Midkiff, I wish he had a different name, also became a certified law clerk and one of the most prolific jailhouse lawyers in Florida. This guy really, he took it to the nth degree. He took it from when he was 19 to whatever he is now. He really ran with it. He became educated. He became,
He used being incarcerated to his benefit.
Yes, and he helped other people. So he took note on the U.S. Supreme Court issued a series of rulings in 2010 declaring the prisoners who were sentenced decades behind bars as juveniles, meaning under 18, deserve to have their sentence reviewed and see if they've grown out of the adolescent mind. Now, think about this. That does not include him. He's 19, but his partner was 17. Now what happened? What happened was the co-defendant, Sweat, who was 17 at the time, sought such a review and was granted a new sentence, time served. He was freed in 2018. With the help of an outside attorney, Midkiff immediately filed a motion saying that in the plea agreement, what was the plea agreement, remember? He would serve less time than Sweat. That was the plea agreement. Now, if that is true, that means he should be free too.
You could think.
Well, okay. So, with the help of an outside attorney, Midkiff immediately filed a motion saying the original plea agreement, as requested by the families and victim's family and verbally agreed by all parties, said the shooter should get more prison time than the getaway driver. Therefore, if Sweat's sentence was shortened, so should his. The family did not attend the hearing to fight the release. So, the judge agreed to let him go in 2019. Okay, that sounds fair. I mean, he should have, by all rights, been released before Sweat, but okay. But going free after more than 2 decades was kind of like a newborn, except knowing how to walk and how to speak. Midkiff said once he was waiting to cross the street, he jumped when he heard the robotic voice coming from the traffic light saying, "Don't walk." His first night sleeping in a friend's house in a room with a soft bed and a door that he could open himself, nearly had a panic attack. His first Friday out, he went to dinner with his fiancée, who had been writing him for years after being introduced to him by her mother, who was a prison volunteer. The day she planned to come see him in prison was the first time that happened to be the day he was released. He had to call her to tell her he was free and had to cancel the visit. They had been together ever since. They both knew that the Florida Attorney General's office had filed an appeal opposing his release, but they were not concerned. The trial judge had ruled strongly for Midkiff's favor and had strong evidence of his rehabilitation. And however, it says that since its release, he's been working on hundreds of legal cases and special interest in those involving juveniles. He's still in touch with his former warden, who asks him about ideas of how to help these guys, which he doesn't have to do. He could just move on with his life. In February, Midkiff flew to New York City to speak to law students. He was so generous with his knowledge. So all this stuff. But in any case, he's still, it says here, but then a year after his freedom, just weeks after being engaged, his lawyer called him and said, "I have bad news." And Mark Omero simply said, the Court of Appeals found that the language saying the Sweat should get more prison time than Midkiff was written in Sweat's plea deal, not Midkiff's. So he has no legal grounds to benefit from him. And Midkiff had believed in a legal system, but basically, he's kind of getting screwed. I mean, I understand. If it was a guy that didn't rehabilitate himself, obviously rehabilitate himself, I would say, okay, let's take a second look at this. I don't think there's any reason to look at this a second time. He's obviously working with the wardens. He's obviously doing his part. And I don't see that there's even a reason to argue about it. Just stupid. But, so he may end up back in jail. That would really suck. Because that would show to me that the system doesn't work.
Right.
So, yeah, that's just odd. So, anyway, enough of that guy. I wanted to bring it up, though, because I thought it was really strange that that would even become an issue. You know, you get out of prison, and then you find out you're going back to jail. Speaking of going back to jail...
Not me.
Poor Sonny. I mean, I love her. I love her so much. But she just doesn't have her act together. Tammy Cinch, who is known as Sonny on the WWE, is in trouble again. I think their only way to make this right is to sign her over to me.
Nope.
I would take care of her. Oh, in many ways. I would show her the right way to live.
You are not Chris Candido.
No, I'm not. And that's where her downfall was. When he died, she just has never recovered from that. She just has not, just keeps going down that rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. I feel so bad for her. Because she just keeps getting in trouble for things that, some of the things are such a stupid thing that that never should have happened. In this case, I can't even, it's like you want to justify what she does, and you want to say, well, she deserves a break. She doesn't deserve a break.
No,
but
she keeps doing it.
But the odd thing about it is that this particular thing that she did seems like such a small thing. But after you've done all the things that you've done, they're not going to take it easy on you. It's like it's like what happened to you with your house. Mm-hmm. Once you get caught in that
loop.
Yeah, the police start looking for things, and that's what is going on with her. She's stuck in New Jersey, which is bad enough.
You're right. I mean, at least this one didn't involve alcohol. Or
drugs.
Yeah, but it's still, she did it. She knew it was wrong.
Right. Okay, so what she did, which seems such a small thing, but they're taking around what she's done in the past and adding that in there. She was charged with driving a motor vehicle during a second license suspension, eluding a police officer. Maybe if she had just stopped, she wouldn't have been in trouble. I mean, she would have been in trouble, but not that much trouble.
Right.
Then contempt and violation of domestic violence restraining order. Just, Tammy, listen to me. I know you're listening. Well, maybe you're not. You're in jail. Contact me. I'll straighten your life out. I've done it for her. Life is, look at her. She's living the good life. Come to me. I will take care of you. I will teach you the ways of the trash. Oh, I am so sad about this. I mean, I just every time I see her name, it's connected to negativity because she's always gonna be in trouble as long as she keeps it's. If you always do what you always done,
that is true.
You always have what you already got.
I've heard that somewhere before.
And the other one is. Do you know the other one?
Face your fear and do it anyway.
Well, it's from that book.
Yeah.
But there's the other saying. I use both of them in my thing. What was the other one I used?
Now, wait a minute. The one that really sticks with me is, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always have what you always got.
How about the other one?
Now I'm trying to
What's
remember.
the definition of insanity?
You did tell me
The
this
definition
the
of
other day.
insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result.
That's it.
That is what Tammy is going through now because she keeps getting in trouble. It says here her legal troubles stretch back to 2012 when she was arrested 5 times within a 4-week span. She served 114 days in jail in 2014 when she was arrested for DUIs 3 times in the span of 2 months. And in 2015, she once again got in trouble in 2016, and that had her jailed until 2017. Was arrested for 2 more DUIs in 2018. Was jailed and paroled again. A bench warrant was for her arrest was issued 2019, and she remained in prison until February of this year. February. It only took her this long because of COVID that she got in trouble now. But when did Chris Candido die? He died in, I want to say 2000, well, it was, I want to say 2008?
He died.
8, I would say. 2008, maybe?
2005, April 28th.
Did he really? In 2005?
Yep.
Was it that long ago?
Yep.
Was it really?
15 years.
I can't. Oh, wow. So she's been spiraling out of control a long, long time. I don't want to say this like this, but it's true. I'm really actually surprised she's still alive.
Yeah.
I really do expect her to OD on something or kill herself or, you know, it's sad to say, but that girl's been on a reign of terror. And it's such a shame because she was such a nice person to me back in those days.
And she is only 47.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. She's. It's such a shame to see her destroy her life like this. I don't know. I just think that she needs someone to mentor her. I was just kidding about me, but I mean, she really does need someone to take her by the hand and tell her. And she needs some counseling or something. She needs to do something for her life because that girl is just really going in the wrong direction in so many ways. I'm saddened by the things I read about her because that girl, she had the world by the gonads. She had, back when she was in the WWE, man, I'd never liked wrestling where they made women into objects,
Right.
for the most part. And so I like the wrestling today because they aren't really objects. They're really wrestlers now. But when she came into the scene, she was a valet and she was the freaking hottest girl I'd ever seen in my life. And she would go and they would shoot these scenes of her on the beach and the water flowing. Oh man, that is spank bank material. Not that and that's something I was totally against with wrestling. But she made it special for me. And I mean, I don't want to sound too much like a pervert because really, seriously, she just was, she had it all then. She had money, she had everything. And her and Chris Candido were such a special couple. They were just, but they were in trouble together then.
Right.
But when he died, he had straightened his act out. And he had really done wonders for turning his life around. And once he died, man, she just lost it. And I guess I understand it because of losing my wife, what that's like. But I can't. It's such a shame to see her continually head down that road. And I really would honestly be surprised if she's alive by 2022. I'm putting her on my list next year.
Okay.
I want to see her straighten her life out, though. She could be a very strong person, and she could, do so much for people because she has experiences that were bad. A rare case of brain-eating amoeba has been confirmed in Florida. Sonny was in Florida, so maybe her brain was eaten. I don't know. Officials are telling residents to avoid tap water and to swim with nose clips. What a weird thing to think about, that you have to avoid tap water. And, geez, if I thought I couldn't swim, I wouldn't want to even be in the water. I'd be really afraid to be in the water. So that's not the first brain-eating amoeba that I think that they had down in that area. It says one Florida resident was infected with a rare and dangerous brain-eating amoeba. The amoeba is incredibly rare. Only 34 infections confirmed in Pennsylvania, in America, between 2009 and 2018. Let's see here. It says here, yeah, it's Hillsborough County. The department didn't specify where the person was infected in the western coastal county, which contains the city of Tampa, but issued a warning on July 3rd discouraging people from swimming and diving in freshwater lakes, rivers, and ponds. So you're still good at the beach.
Good.
So that's just unbelievable. That scares me, that kind of thing. I mean, you go to the beach, or you won't go places like that to just enjoy the whole thing, and
I know.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Video shows this is okay.
Hi, puppy.
I got to show this because this is what we were talking about. Hey, pup. Video shows man pinned to a tree in what he calls attempted lynching in Indiana Lake. I'm telling you, this is out there. There are so many white people that are just angry. I don't know why they're so angry, but they're angry. And this is real. These people, this video shows this black man pinned to a tree in an attempt at lynching.
Oh,
I'm embarrassed to be white. That's all I've got to say. It says in a post in Facebook, Vonks, I believe that's Vonks Booker, wrote, "I don't want to recount this, but I was almost the victim of an attempt at lynching." He went on July 4th evening, others and me were victims of what I could describe as a hate crime. I was attacked by five white men with Confederate flags who literally threatened to lynch me in front of numerous witnesses. Booker said he and his friends were visiting a public beach on Lake Monroe outside Bloomington, Indiana, to join a gathering when a group of men said they were on a private property and began to follow him. Some of the men became belligerent and approached. When he approached sober-seeking group members to see if we could smooth things over, the confrontation escalated. It says here, the video posted to social media shows a group of white men holding Booker to a tree as his friends plead with them to release him. In the video, one man shouts in the camera, "You happy about this, you nappy-headed bitch? You and your 5 white friends." As Booker's friends leave, one of the men shouting, "Those black boys want to start it all." In his Facebook post, Booker claimed they were shouts of "get a noose" and "white power." I'm telling you, these people are nuts. I mean, not the man who got attacked, but these people are just freaking nuts.
Well, Amy Sue just commented. She says, "Welcome to Florida, where if it doesn't bite you, sting you, or stab you, it will definitely make you itch."
Here's the video. These people are nuts. And they're all on camera. They all could be arrested.
Well, yeah.
They got him trapped on a tree. That's just nuts. Man, angry people.
Yep.
What's wrong with us white people? Unbelievable. What is wrong with these people? That's what the COVID does to you.
Yep.
Video 3? There's more? Oh, I don't know. I don't know that I want to see anymore. That guy there needs some serious counseling.
What do you want to call me?
5 white friends. What is with these people? Why are they so angry?
I don't know.
Man, video 4? There's another one yet. I think this is crazy.
What?
Now that dog was my dog barking. He wanted to be part of that now. Oh man, they're still going on.
Some people can't they just can't let things go.
Yeah. I
What
agree.
are you looking at me for?
That's amazingly stupid. Those people should have just been, I want to say shot. But then I'm just like them. That's crazy. That's a 4th of July party. I'm glad I wasn't down there.
Yeah, me too.
We had a good 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh man, there must be a lot of videos. Look, this is all the further we are.
Oh my goodness.
Or is that, no, maybe not. That's freaking messed up. Hey, Amy Sue. This is Indiana, right? That's what I said, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't like liberal people.
Okay.
You guys invaded us? What's that about?
Who knows?
Wow. That's unreal. I'm in shock. I'm in shock that there's idiots out there like this. Looks like they got in another confrontation right about here. Oh, they're there again. I'll tell you what, I give him a lot of applause here, because that guy kept us cool the whole time. I wonder if this is a... Poor county official. He must be an official of the county, and he's still getting hassled. I thought that girl there was with them. I didn't realize she's with the white power people. Oh, maybe this is another view of that other thing, because this is where he says this sucks for both sides. That's just freaking amazing. All right, well, we got the general idea. This is just some weird stuff. Oh, here's a thing from ABC of him talking about where he was scared for his life. Well, we got the general idea that people are just nuts. People are nuts. I can't fathom that.
I saw something here and now I don't know where it is.
Okay.
As soon as I find it, I'll let you know.
Okay, you do that.
But I was like, it was right here and I accidentally hit the wrong button.
Oh, well. That'll teach you.
Yep.
This is a weird... we have the weird ones today. I've been saying that all night, haven't I?
Uh-huh.
Well, this is definitely weird. 17 New York City correction officers to be disciplined in a trans woman's death at Rikers Island. Unbelievable. This is it says a person holds up a picture of Layleen Polanco, a transgender person who died at Rikers Island prison during a Black Trans Lives Matter rally in Brooklyn. It says here more than a dozen New York City Department of Correction officers will be disciplined for their conduct surrounding the death of Layleen Extravaganza Kublet Polanco, 27, a transgender woman who died last year while in solitary confinement at Rikers Island. 3 officers and 1 captain will be suspended without pay immediately. The department said in a statement Friday it was not immediately clear what disciplinary actions the remaining 13 would face. The announcement comes several weeks after the Bronx District Attorney Darcel D. Clark declined to file charges following a 6-month investigation under the circumstances of her death. We're committed to ensuring that all the facilities are safe and humane. Even one death in our custody is one too many. And so it says that she died in June 2019 after being placed in solitary confinement, despite the objections of at least one doctor due to her history of seizures. In declining to file criminal charges, Clark said in a statement that the purview of this office is not to determine whether it was a wrong decision to put her in solitary confinement. Instead, it was a district attorney's role to determine whether that decision rose to the level of criminal behavior. Well, that would be a strange thing to put someone in solitary confinement who has seizures without any monitoring. If you had cameras on that person, that would be one thing, but that's really bizarre. Several weeks before she died, she'd been hospitalized at the Elmhurst Hospital Prison for psychiatric care, showing radical changes in behavior, including shouting, crying, rolling around on the floor, talking to herself, expressing suicidal thoughts, and charging at a guard, according to... Well, see, now that changes the story a little bit. But I still think that she should have had some kind of camera or something on her. Yeah, I would say put her in solitary confinement if she's charging it, causing all that problem. But you still don't just put them there and let them do whatever they want. Put them in with a camera so that if anything happens, you can see what's going on. Cameras are everywhere nowadays. Why they aren't in solitary confinement, I'll never know. That's just... There's no reason, because you can buy a camera relatively cheap.
True. And I found the one I was looking for.
Okay.
It is a video where it says the funeral director got paid with a bounced check, so he took the dead body out of the coffin and threw it on the family's car and then left.
All right. I think I would have gone to the courts and followed a lawsuit.
And it shows them throwing the corpse on the car. I was just like, oh my goodness.
There. That's just amazing. I gave it to you. Don't bug me.
There, I sent it over to you.
Well, I could have just brought your screen up.
Oh, I shut that part off.
Oh.
I did have it on, and you weren't using it, so I shut it off.
Well, how often you give me stuff?
This is the first tonight.
That's what I'm saying. It's
except for the two things you
well,
asked
yeah, but
for.
I mean the thing that plus you gave me stuff that was.
I give you stuff during the week.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Where is it?
Should be on your Instagram.
Is that it? No, that's okay.
No.
This is the coffin. This must be it. This one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I gotta open that. What? Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that's really
But what gets me is, I mean, if this is the service, okay, how did the funeral director know the check was going to bounce in order to do this?
well, it may have bounced before the service, and he said to the people that they needed to pay and they didn't want to pay. So I don't know. There's probably more to the story, but
Probably, but just watching that is, I think back to when my aunt passed away. I mean, I can't say for sure when Dad died, but when my aunt passed away, I know we were all shocked in how much it cost for a funeral.
oh yes,
And that was the one question they had, because she didn't have a lot of money put back, was how are they going to do this?
jeez.
And it had to be all paid up front before any of the services took
Yeah.
place.
Speaking of Florida,
Uh-oh.
Florida sets a new record of COVID cases as Disney opens. Now, we talked about the Disney part of it, but they are certainly the trendsetters in that they're way out of control. And it's just unbelievable. 16,000 cases on Sunday. 15,299 cases. The highest total of any state since it started. Florida holds the record for second highest as well at 11,434 cases in July 4th. So, what do you do? I mean, everyone knows that this is real. Why are we still having issues with people not wearing masks and stuff? This is just getting bigger and bigger, and it's causing. Do you realize Canada has everything pretty much solved? Some of the countries are actually done with this. Australia isn't having any problems. Why is it that we're supposed to be sophisticated? We're supposed to understand this stuff. We're having problems putting it together. Everybody else is going down in cases. We're going up in cases, and there's got to be reasons for that.
Wow.
Just sucks big time. And then you have things like this. 30-year-old dies after attending a COVID party thinking the virus is a hoax. Well, guess what? The joke's on you. You went to this COVID thing thinking there was no need for social distancing. It doesn't just happen to the old people and the young people. It happens to all people if they're that stupid. It says here, I made a mistake. I thought this was a hoax. It's not. Those were his final words of a 30-year-old patient who died at Methodist Hospital in San Antonio this week after attending a so-called COVID party. These people, why? Why do you tempt fate? If someone says to you, this gun has a bullet in it and it will kill you, and you say, well, shoot it. Shoot me. What do you know?
I wouldn't want to play Russian roulette with a gun.
I wouldn't, but yet that's what people are doing. I just don't understand why people think it's really makes sense, and it actually if you sit down and think about it, you're tempting fate when you're doing I mean, think about that preacher that had his service because he said this, God will take care of us if we just come to church. God will take care of us. Guess what? The minister died, and how many of his people died? It's just stupid. And then we got people up there, over there in Texas that are upset about them closing the bars again. So they have their own tea party, kind of with beer. Organizers of El Paso, Texas, opened a keg of beer with a sledgehammer and let it pour onto the street because we're not allowed to sell it in Texas. Well, they aren't allowed to sell it in Texas because they're being closed down. You know, the thing is, if you're, of all places, you don't want to be, if you're going to be staying away from places, a bar is the worst place you could be because you're going to be drinking and you're going to be slobbering and drunk as anything, and you're going to be like, say, oh, this thing's not real, and then you're going to fall over dead. Well, that's why they're closing the bars, and they're doing that in. Actually, I got another. I'll say that one too. I got another story about being in California. They closed 30 counties worth of bars because their numbers were skyrocketing. Well, you don't close down the supermarkets because you need food.
Right.
But you don't need alcohol. And if you need alcohol, buy it at the supermarket and drink it at home. So it says here bars were shut down last month by Governor Greg Abbott after a surge of the virus cases following the one of America's fastest reopenings. They didn't take their time. They hurried up and started it, and everybody started getting sick again. So here's the video of them throwing beers in the streets. That's a lot of beer, you know. They could have been sold if they would have not opened so quickly. That's crazy. So they end up spending $100 or so for a keg of beer that they're just dumping in the street. That's just crazy. And look at those people. None of those people are social distancing either. Look at that. They don't seem to understand. You are the problem. Unbelievable. Oh, these people. These are the problems.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to continue. I think we should put the wall up between us and Texas and Florida.
Put a piece of it up every state, you know, around the borders of all the states.
But some states are doing okay.
That's okay. Then that means that's a good state to go into.
I mean, just Pennsylvania, actually, I got that too. Well, okay, we'll do this first. Dauphin County Amish store offers oxygen level testing, and they won't make you wear masks.
Wow.
Again, how stupid can you be? This is why we have problems. This is why we can't have good things. Nice things. This is why we can't have nice things. Because people aren't going to wear their masks. What is with these people? And they're blaming everybody but themselves, because if people had done what they should have done 3 months ago, 4 months ago, we'd be done. We'd be through all this. This is the scary part. 4 states added to Pennsylvania's travel quarantine list. So we now have... Oh, what are we doing here? Oh, that's an ad. Okay, it says here, state officials have added 4 states, including neighboring Delaware, to their travel quarantine.
Yep.
So now we have, let's see, we have Delaware, Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma. They're all asked to be self-quarantined for 14 days upon their return. Because those are...
Scroll down a minute.
What?
The state earlier issued the recommendation for self-quarantine for people coming to the Commonwealth from 15 other states.
Yeah, Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Louisiana, Mississippi, Nevada, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, and Utah. That's part of the reason I'm not going to see Nancy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the states. So, I don't know. This is just crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all because people aren't smart. You know?
You know, I know Amy Sue was saying, you know, she's terrified that they're not going to let her daughter fly to visit the aunt in Michigan, and when you said about Florida, she goes, "Hey, I'm down here."
That's not my
I mean,
fault.
think about it. Danny Mae was in Florida. She comes up to New Jersey. She's back in Florida now.
Yeah, it's crazy. This stuff is crazy. It's. When are we going to end? Where's our end game here? And the two reasons why COVID's worse in the U.S. There's two reasons, it says. Dr. Fauci was saying. The pandemic, let's see if we can see the reasons. Let's see. First, the myth. It may seem to be counterintuitive, but battling the contagion is not contrary to helping the economy. Public health and economic growth are not compatible. They go hand in hand. Fighting the pandemic is an indispensable step in returning to growth. There is no trade-off. We all want the economy to recover, but allow the coronavirus to surge is not the way. Without necessary measures, physical distancing, wearing masks, the virus spreads like flames on a dry bush. It will burn the economy to the ground if we don't act. That's true. It's true. Mm-hmm. Says here, data shows that states like Florida, Texas, and Arizona, all which reopened early and most aggressively, are becoming the new epicenters for COVID-19, with Florida reporting 15,299 cases on Sunday, the highest number reported in a single day. By the way, President Trump was wearing a mask.
Yes.
That tells you he's taking it seriously now.
If he's doing it, we should all do it.
We should. Trump has pushed relentlessly to reopen the mistaken belief that it would fire up the economy, and devoted Republican governors quickly obliged. Reopening creates a flicker of economic activity, a fleeting illusion of recovery, followed by an explosion of disease and death, which demands further shutdowns. It should not be a surprise that a study of the 1918 flu pandemic found that U.S. cities that took the fastest, most aggressive actions to reduce the spread ultimately experienced the strongest economic growth. Reopening may save some jobs, some income for a short time, but we have to hunker down. And it says here, let's see, where's the... Okay, Dr. Fauci said, stated the obvious. I don't think you can say we're doing great. We're just not. We have serious ongoing problem, a perfect storm, he called it. He had warned Congress that we could see 100,000 new cases daily. It sounded far-fetched, but now we're barely barreling toward that number. 100,000 a day. That's what we're headed towards. And my sister is another one of those people that didn't believe it. She thought it was blown out of proportion. You know, at this point, it's in a disaster. A fiendishly clever film scriptwriter could throw a new plot quest. A leader who doesn't care, one that does the wrong things as deaths pile up. The president went to war against the recommendations of the U.S. Centers of Disease Control and Prevention regarding schools. In fact, I've heard today, I read yesterday, I think it was, that everybody's pushing for kids to go back to school.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy.
And that was one of the things that Natasha and I were talking about when school starts in September. You know, Everett's not going to be able to sit 8 hours a day with a mask on. You know, how are you going to do that? And I said, well, you know, it's one of those things that if he has to, he has to. And I think what the schools are doing, I think she read something to me that she got where when they're in the hallways, they'll have to wear them, but inside the classroom, they don't. They'll still have to maintain social distancing.
Where are they going to have the room?
I know.
I mean, I'm not on there. I don't know. That's the thing. That this is also new to us, and nobody knows the right solution. Nobody has said anything, you know, and it's so scary to think how we're going to handle this.
And it's like everything else. You fly by the seat of your pants and Band-Aid it until you get other things in place, you know, more solid things that say, okay, this is going to go long term. You know, it's something that just come out of the blue that we have to deal with. Unfortunately, It's going longer than any of us expected.
It says here, Friday, Trump went to Florida, a new epicenter of raging disaster, a place where about 1 out of every 3 coronavirus tests are positive, and acted as if it was business as usual. On Saturday, he briefly wore a mask in a visit to wounded service members at the Walter Reed Hospital, saying he thought masks had a time and a place. So this is getting worse and worse, while other countries are getting better. So this country is in serious trouble if they do not do this. It says here, dozens of Florida hospitals max out of ICU capacity amid a surge of the COVID. So you can't even get in the hospital because they're already at capacity.
Oh, yeah.
So where do you go? If you're, I mean, you know.
Well, think about it. Even around here, the hospitals, they only say one person along with the patient.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's, I really don't even know what to think about it, because it's so far out of hand. We've got to reel this in, and I don't know what the answer is. Oh, here it is. Lockdown 2.0. First off, tell me that this guy doesn't look like a penguin.
Well, of course he does.
When I looked at that first,
yeah.
I saw he looked like a penguin. Anyway, California is back on COVID. Now, remember, I told you California took action with the harshest initial pandemic closures lifted around Memorial Day. Many Californians think that the danger and novel coronavirus was over, and rushed out to make up for 3 terrible months of quarantine. We partied, we protested, we patronized nail salons. We patronized salons and stores. And too often we did so without maintaining safe distance or without wearing the mask. Businesses ignored infection rules in large numbers, and some county sheriffs refused to enforce them. And surprise, what happened? Well, the virus took full advantage of our lower defenses, and they've steadily risen over the past month, with Los Angeles being the hottest spot in the state. More troubling, hospital admissions rose, too, as did the percentage of coronavirus's tests that came back positive. In just a matter of time, Governor Gavin Newsom ordered the state back on lockdown. So Monday, he announced a significant rollback on the state's reopening plan in an attempt to flatten the curve. Lockdown 2.0 is not as extreme as the first version. For one thing, Californians will still be able to enjoy dining out, but only if they remain outside. Indoor dining as well as wine tasting and movie-going are prohibited statewide.
Wow.
So that is the first guy that actually took action at what's going on. So I applaud the guy. I mean, he's definitely not a very popular person in California right now, but he did what he needed to do to stop things from. Did I just do this one?
Yes.
Oh, okay. He took action on what had to be done. Okay, what is going on? Okay, I got to push this one. That's the one. Trying to talk and do things at the same time, and not always successful at it. But, the thing is, he's the first guy to take that kind of action. That's drastic action, but it had to be done because they're going crazy.
Yep.
And then this will be the last one, I guess. 3 people who traveled on recent Delta flights have tested positive. Who would have thought?
Wow.
Because I think my buddy Rich's wife or girlfriend or whatever she is came up to PA just recently, and they flew, and they had to take tests before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently some of them got by.
Oh, my goodness.
So it just is a never-ending thing. It just, when's it going to end? So,
like Amy says, the economic impact of this thing will be worldwide and last for years.
Yeah. It's already killing businesses. It's killing businesses left and right, but
yep.
It's either killing businesses or killing people. And, I'm thankful that I'm retired because I don't have to go anywhere for the most part.
I'm thankful
But-
I'm essential because I still have a job and I can work, even if
Yeah.
it is from home.
Yeah, that too. All right, enough with the stuff. I guess it's time to go.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah, it was. Now I gotta get this loaded, and I didn't load it. I thought I did. I had it loaded, and that's what we want. There it is. Okay. So. Oh, whoop, wait a minute. Not
It's
yet.
ready, you're not.
Yet. Not yet. Anyway, I want to thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, and, that's all I got to say.